Imagine you are a young boy, sitting alone reading books for hours, while the world outside feels confusing, even harsh. Now imagine that same boy growing up to change the future of humanity. Sounds like a movie, right? But this is a real story. The story of Elon Musk. Stay with me, because this journey is not just about success. It's about struggle, risk, and an almost unbelievable vision. This story begins in South Africa. As a child, he was quiet, deeply curious, and often lost in books. While other kids were playing, he was learning science, technology, and imagining the future. He loved reading so much that he could spend hours alone without getting bored. Books became his best friends, and through them, he started to see a bigger world beyond his surroundings. But life was not easy. He faced bullying in school and often felt like he didn't belong. There were moments when he felt lonely and misunderstood. Yet, instead of breaking him, these experiences made him stronger. They helped him think deeply, solve problems, and believe in himself even when others didn't. At the age of just 12, he created and sold his first computer game. That was a big moment. It showed that he was not just dreaming, he was taking action. Think about that. While most kids were still figuring out homework, he was already building something of his own. As he grew older, his dreams became bigger. He didn't just want to live a normal life. He wanted to do something meaningful, something that could change the future. But he knew that staying in the same place would limit his growth. He needed new opportunities, new challenges, and a bigger stage. So, he made a bold decision. He left his home and moved to North America. It was not an easy move. He had very little money, no strong support, and an uncertain future. But he had something more important, a clear vision and strong determination. This step was the beginning of a new journey, a journey that would test him in ways he had never imagined, and prepare him for the challenges that were coming next. The next phase of his life was all about survival and learning. Life in a new country was not easy. He had to manage his studies, pay his bills, and take care of himself at the same time. He studied hard, worked multiple jobs, and slowly stepped into the world of business. Sometimes he would work long hours with very little rest, but he didn't complain. He knew this struggle was part of his journey. In those early days, nothing was certain. His first companies were not instant successes. There were risks, failures, and moments where everything could have collapsed. Some ideas didn't work. Some plans failed. There were times when he was very close to losing everything he had built. But one thing was different about him. He didn't stop. He learned from every mistake and kept moving forward. With each failure, he became smarter and stronger. He started to understand how business works, how to solve real problems, and how to take calculated risks. Slowly, his hard work began to show results. Opportunities started to open, and people began to notice his ideas. Then came the turning point. He co-founded an online payment company that later became known as PayPal. The idea was simple but powerful, to make sending money online easy and fast. At that time, it was a new concept, and many people were unsure about it. But he believed in it and worked day and night to make it successful. After years of effort, the company grew rapidly and was finally sold. In one moment, everything changed. He suddenly had millions of dollars. It was the kind of success most people dream of. But here's where the story takes an interesting turn. Instead of enjoying a comfortable and easy life, he made a bold and unexpected decision. He chose not to slow down, but to take even bigger risks, a decision that would lead him into the most challenging and exciting chapter of his life. He invested almost everything into 3 extremely risky ideas: electric cars, space travel, and clean energy. This decision surprised many people. After earning so much money, most expected him to play safe. But he chose the harder path. He wanted to solve big problems and create something that could last for generations. People thought it was crazy. Friends doubted him, Experts said it would fail. Starting such companies required huge money, advanced technology, and years of patience. The chances of failure were very high, but he believed in something bigger than money. He believed in changing the future and helping humanity move forward. To turn these ideas into reality, he worked day and night. He became deeply involved in every detail, from design to production. He didn't just lead from the top. He worked with his teams, solved problems, and pushed everyone to do better. His goal was not just to build companies, but to build something truly different. The journey, however, was far from easy. Rockets failed again and again. Each failure cost millions. His car company struggled to survive. Money was almost gone, and at one point, he had to invest his own remaining savings just to keep things running. The pressure was intense, and failure felt very close. There were moments when everything seemed lost. People criticized him, media questioned his decisions, and the future looked uncertain. But he didn't quit. He stayed focused, learned from every failure, and kept improving. Step by step, things started to change. One rocket finally launched successfully. One product started gaining attention. Slowly, confidence began to return. One success led to another, and the world started to notice that what once looked impossible was actually becoming real. This phase of struggle and persistence became the foundation of his success, leading into a time when his ideas would not only survive, but begin to shape the future in ways no one had imagined. Today, his ideas are shaping the future. But this story is not just about achievements. It's about courage. The courage to take risks, to fail, and to keep going when everything feels impossible. So think about your own life. You may not want to build rockets or change industries, but you do have dreams. And the real question is, will you stop when things get hard, or will you keep moving forward? Because sometimes, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is simply the decision to never give up.